Welcome, everybody. For the Inaros guide, rather than writing down about how awesome Inaros is and just giving you a wall of text, I have decided that I am just going to show you how badass he really can be. Now, I grant you, you do have to have a few things for Inaros, namely an augment and either a rare or common mod. I'll show you which ones after the demonstration. Um, but you don't need to form him, and you do need a good melee weapon. Now, what's defined as a good melee weapon for our purposes is simply going to mean a melee weapon with a pretty high crit chance, preferably one that you've got either Gladiator Rush or Body Count on so that you can keep your combo counter because you're going to want to kill things as quickly as possible. Now, let's watch and see how badass Inaros really is. So we're going to grab something with really high armor. I like Heavy Gunner for this. For starters, we're going to drop this to level 80 because this is the point where most newer people get slaughtered. We're not going to turn on any of these. Let's just go ahead and simulate 20 of these baddies. Now the first thing we're going to fire off is Scarab Swarm. If you look in the top right, you can see Scarab armor building up there. Once it's at max, we're going to reselect Desiccation, his first ability, and we'll be ready to rock. Watch this nonsense. Bear in mind, I only have a melee equip. Now watch, I have taken a lot of life damage at this point. Now if you pay attention, we're only using Scarab Armor and we're only using Desiccation because those are the two abilities when comboed correctly with the correct mods make Inaros pretty much unkillable. I'll show you what that means after this little demonstration, which by the way is very nearly over. And there it is. Oh, wait. Just kidding. Two more. Let's wipe them off the board. A quick run through. Make sure everything is dead. Bear in mind, I am equipped with nothing but a melee weapon. There we go. Boom. Everybody died and I missed the jump. Woo! Missed the jump. All right. Good job. There we go. Now we've got our jump. Now let's take a look and see what's on Inaros. So first things first, we're going to go take a look at his abilities because, like I said, the first ability and the fourth ability are the ones that make Inaros a god. You can ignore the second and third entirely. This is just my opinion, but I think those are just there for the player to have fun. They're not there to be effective. If you want to be effective, you'll stick to Desiccation and Scarab Swarm. Scarab Swarm first, then Desiccation to absolutely destroy everything and everyone in your path. The first thing we want to take a look at is his passive. The first thing most people look at are, of course, the abilities and their descriptions, but always look at the passive first. When bleeding out, Inaros becomes entombed in a protective sarcophagus. He can revive himself by draining the life force from nearby enemies and allies. Be aware that if you've got an Inaros on your team, it can help him by screwing you over. But that's about as trollish as he can get. Truth be told, if he's being played right, he'll almost never go down in the first place. So Desiccation blasts enemies with a wave of cursed sand and blinds them and steals their health. What is not written is that if you kill an enemy with an instant kill, a finisher, uh, while they are blinded by Desiccation, you will get all of the life that you would have gotten from Desiccation in the first place. Meaning, had you just desiccated them and ran away, from that particular desiccation, if that would have given you, say, for argument's sake, 200 life, you will instantly get it if you finish or kill them while they are blinded by desiccation. Desiccation is part of what makes Inaros amazing. The second part is Scarab Swarm. Charge to transform health into hardened scarab armor. That's the part we care about. Now, you can also, to help your teammates, discharge to blast enemies with a Scarab Swarm. Survivors have their health drained, and that health is then bestowed on your allies. So yes, you can, at least partially, be a supporting frame with Inaros. But if you want to be immortal, you'll just stick to the first part. Now we need to see the mods. Bear in mind, because you didn't see any green here, whoops, clicked the wrong thing. Let's go back. Because you didn't see any green here, it means that I have not modified his abilities at all, just max ranked them. So let's take a look and see why. First things first, I'm running Physique. It adds 18 base health, 18% base health. Doesn't seem great, but we're also using Gladiator Finesse, drains energy to stop lethal damage with plus 60% efficiency, but what we're really after is that plus 90% critical chance that stacks with the combo multiplier, because we're going full-blown Gladiator with our Zaw. Then Gladiator Aegis, which adds armor, Gladiator Resolve, which adds health, Primed Vigor, which adds health and shields. Womp womp womp. Inaros doesn't have shields, but we wanted the health from this, so we got it. Vitality, which adds 440 health. Steel Fiber, which adds 110% armor. And then finally, Rage, which converts plus 40% of damage on health to energy. Now, if you don't have a copy of Rage, that's totally cool. Believe it or not, you can actually just pick yourself up a copy of Hunter Adrenaline. You can see here that I have 8 spares. I actually used to have quite a bit more. These things drop on the planes like candy. Now, it costs more than Rage, which is why this one's not on my Inaros. I would have to form him to use this instead of Rage, which makes no sense, but moving on. But the Hunter Adrenaline converts 45% of damage on health to energy. It's 5% more than Rage. So if you don't mind formatting Inaros, you can pop Hunter Adrenaline on instead of Rage, and you're pretty much good to go. And finally, the crowning achievement of them all, Negation Swarm. Scarab Swarm Augment. Scarab armor protects Inaros from status effects, consuming 3% bonus armor for each effect resisted. Yeah, you read that right. Now, not only does Scarab Swarm protect him from damage to a limited extent, it now also protects him from status effects. Oh, and if your Scarab armor gets worn down, you can just recast it whenever you're ready. Now I'm using Arcane Ultimatum and Arcane Fury, which you don't necessarily have to have. These are just nice little options that I put on my Inaros to help. Oh, no, I'm mistaken. I did actually forma him once. I believe it was to fit Steel Fiber on there. Moving on. So one forma gets your Inaros to this. The Zaw that I built, my Moron Killer, because I kill those morons, is pretty straightforward with the exception of my ridiculous Riven that I just happened to luck my way into, and of course I rolled 13 times to get. But as you can see, it's a full Glad build based on critical chance, and that does some pretty severe damage if you take a look at what the modded crit chance is and the crit multiplier. And I don't even have an arcane on this thing. Truth be told, with this, you don't really need it. Let's go ahead. You know what? We're going to remove our Helios from this. And now we're going to show you just how ridiculous Inaros can truly be. We're going to renew his Scarab armor. Took 2,000 life to do that. Man. All right. Let's turn the enemies up to max rank. I mean, surely they'll kick my tail, right? You think they'll kick my teeth in? Let's go find out. Come on, guys. Kick my teeth in. Oh, look at that. I can still be knocked down. Desiccate. Let's just get that combo multiplier up. Desiccate. Now notice that every time I take damage, these guys are doing nothing but refilling my life bar, or rather my energy bar. This is why you use either Rage or Hunter Adrenaline. You don't even need to use Primed Flow to keep this guy in energy. All you need is that copy of Hunter Adrenaline or Rage. Because you're gonna take life damage. You're just gonna. Now, normally the thing that just kicks the crap out of Inaros is status effects, which is why you need the Scarab Swarm augment. He can't be procced by status effects when he has them, which means the only thing that would really stand in his way has now been removed. And there it is. 20 level 155 heavy gunners. High armor values, really powerful weapons, completely wiped off the board. Now, we'll do this one more time, and we'll show you some of the more fun abilities. Notice that my swarm armor is still max. First, let's hit him with some Desiccate, and now we'll use Devour on one. Man, that guy's got a lot of life. All right. Man, look at all that damage I'm taking. Oh my goodness. Oh, they're hurting. Yep, not for long. Whee! I'm a sandstorm. Whee! Get wrecked. Get wrecked. I'm a sandstorm. I'm coming for you. Get wrecked, you fools. Get wrecked, you fools. Bye-bye. Oh my god, its foot was stuck to the ground. Amazing. Desiccate. Everybody die. Owies. 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 You shot me. That's not cool. Not cool, bro. Bye-bye. Oh man, look at that finisher damage. Now that being stated, even if you don't have a Riven, you can actually just use mods that increase your finisher damage because you're going to desiccate them and then immediately launch into a finisher. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right. You don't necessarily need a Riven. You just need a weapon with great finisher damage. And even though all I did really most of that game was play around, completely obliterated them. That 1 and that 4 are amazing. Hey, I made the jump. Yay, me. And there it is. That is how you turn Inaros into a god. And now you see why he was one of my favorite frames in the game. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to link the guide, the actual Steam guide, in the comments below the video. Please go review it, give it a read, and leave some feedback. Thanks. Have a great day.